Boom. Hi, everyone, and welcome to the Exploring Creative Minds podcast. I'm your host, Judah Hooper. Today, I have the pleasure of speaking with Gigi. You could start, I guess, and then we'll go from
Okay.
there.
Hi, I'm Gigi, and I'm the producer of this movie we're going to talk about. And thank you so much for inviting us today. Um, yeah, so
Awesome, awesome. Nice to meet you, Gigi. Just kidding. We're friends already. So, um, uh, Lourvey, what about you? What's your involvement in this project?
Hello, my name is Lourvey Bourdan. I am the writer and also I am one of the actors in this production
All
of
right,
My Mother's Daughter.
awesome. In Virginia.
Hi, I'm Virginia Leon. I am the director and producer of My Mother's Daughter.
Awesome, awesome. Okay, so where did this film start? Like, what was the impetus to make it into a film? I know from what I've heard about it that it's a personal story, but what made you want to transcribe that into a film?
Okay. Sorry, I had to keep putting myself on mute because sometimes it's a little loud out here.
Oh, no hurry.
Um, so it first started off as a way to do a competition. I was a part of a organization called Women of Color Unite, which also has a sister company called Women of Color Filmmakers. And they challenge us every year to do a short film with very limited resources and so forth and so on. And I wasn't able to fully participate then. And I kind of held on to this story. And I was kind of going over it with Virginia. And she said, you should really kind of bring this story off the shelf. And she and I kind of dusted it off a little bit and we brought Gigi on. And we've been kind of making sure that we're putting our best foot forward and just really making sure that people are really hearing about it and putting it out there. And what brought it to initial light was just the courage that it takes to be a person who really seeks out their biological family. I wrote it for people who are adoptees. I wrote it for people who foster children. I wrote it for people who are thinking about adopting children. It's not easy to be the person who has to give up your child. It's not easy being the person who finds out they're adopted. It's never easy having to be that parent who has to explain that they're the child who they love and they've given so much of themselves to is adopted, or if their child finds out that they're adopted, and having to explain that and having to deal with those emotions of, you know, do you love me the same, or am I going to be a true part of your family, whether that's from the child's perspective or the parent's perspective. So I kind of wrote this in regards to making sure that it was kind of paying homage to those people and those families.
Mm, right, right, right. Yeah, I guess we should go over what my mother's daughter is about. I guess as like a plot for everyone because they don't know. So, yeah, what is my mother's daughter? The story focusing on specifically regarding to that.
Either the ladies can go into that. It's kind of noisy over here.
Yeah, okay, I'll choose Virginia. Go, your director.
Yeah. Okay, so My Mother's Daughter is basically about a young lady who is meeting her biological mother for the first time on essentially live television. What I do know of the story from having deep conversations with Lorvey, it is a very personal story. It's based on some true events. But the heart of the story basically is for the script. The heart of the story is this girl finding out this life changing thing after having another life changing event. We won't go too much into the movie, but she has this one thing, then this other thing pops up. So she's trying to basically find out who she is. And then on the other side, you have this mom who has her life basically turned upside down because this is something she never wanted to do. So it brings these two women together in this very awkward situation And it gets to the heart of what it is to be a mom and a child in any circumstances.
Mm, right. So it has both perspectives,
Yeah.
which is very very cool. Because yeah, not a lot of films show that, especially short films. Yeah, they don't really show that. So that's interesting. Is there was there something about it specifically that compelled you, Virginia, to want to direct it? Because that's obviously like the hardest job you could ever have, making a movie. Um, so why did you choose to take that role?
um, well, I love Lourvey, so that was, the top of it. She wanted to do something. I'm always here. I am a cheerleader of all women, so I'm always here to want to support, but I'm also a mom. I had my mom, but my mom passed away when I was my young 20s. I don't know my father. So I understand that side of wanting to know a piece of yourself and wanting to figure out who you are. And just being a mom and just having to navigate that space and be able to teach your children about you so they can learn who they are is a very personal and it's a very hard thing. So reading the script, it was like, how do you sit down and have this conversation on a regular day? But then I'm also doing it in front of cameras, in front of some person I don't know who is basically narrating our life in an hour television series. So I thought it was a very deep story. I felt it was impactful from the beginning to the end. And it's a story that resonates with everybody on some level.
Yeah.
So I wanted to be a part of it.
Right, right. No, that's awesome. Yeah, it's exact. It's a very substantive story. I feel like, as a director, you look for things that have substance and things that touch you, and those don't always come. So I understand completely, Virginia, with that. That's awesome. Gigi, yeah. What was your involvement in the story, and why are you producing it? That's like the second hardest job in a film production.
Um, I reached out Norway once I saw them. They were looking for, I think it was the actress at the beginning. But I personally messaged her saying that I would really like to contribute for the trailer. When I heard this story, when I read the script, and I was like, oh my God, this is more more than I could even ask for because I like meaningful stories. So sometimes we work because we have to work, and I like producing, I like contributing to team, and I have a different kind of skill set than most common producer. Like I have more like spiritual side. I love connecting, networking, and so when I read this story, I felt like, okay, I have friends that they had to walk away from their own kid. I had friends that their mothers actually had to give them away. And I know people that they were adopted. So, very close people to me that I know. And I was like, okay. And I also know the fact that once this happens, the kid, when we grow up, you still have a part of you that you still search about your value in different things, but when you find the real love within yourself, it just helps you to understand everyone's perspective. So I thought Norway's point of view in the movie, the way she wrote, represents that. That can someone that reads from the outside, I feel like it can really help a lot of people internally to find believe that we don't need even sometimes to have that validation need once we're able to know ourselves 100% and go for it and kind of like go through the pain because it's not easy. So go through the being so brave to able to, okay, I want to know no matter what it is, I want to know, and I'm gonna be okay, I'm ready. So I felt that energy in the story, and I would love to spread the news everywhere, and I want to do my best as much as I can. That's it.
Right. Yeah. So it makes sense. The story touched you, and it was, yeah, similar to Virginia. It's a more substantive story because, like you said, we all do films just to like do films and be, But yeah, it makes sense. Yeah, that's like not. It's you don't find stories that touch you in that way, and it's an important thing that like a lot of people experience. And there's not a lot of movies about it. So, you know, um, Lorve, you said that. So this was a story. It sounds like you've thought of for a while in terms of like transcribing it into like an art piece kind of thing. Like when was the moment that you decided like, oh, I'm gonna write this down, and was there like a process of healing that you had to go through in your life, kind of thing,
Uh,
with
I
this?
am still on that journey of healing. Um, this whole, mm, I guess the adventure began when I was 5. And I won't say how old I am, but let's just say I'm still on that journey. And I'm not ashamed to say I have a therapist who I vent to, I speak to, I have my friends. You know, it's definitely a process, and I would never ever um, dare to shame anyone or to make someone feel less than for speaking up or speaking out about how they feel about something.
Mm.
I first got the idea to make a journal about it from my therapist. Um, and that was a few years back, when I was in school, when I was in college. Um, she suggested, because I was so angry, and my biological mother, and I had an argument about, and I was saying to her, I was like, you're a horrible person. You gave me away, and you did this, and you did this, and I was just like screaming these ugly things at her, and I could tell it really hurt her. It really hurt her feeling, and that's just not who I am as a person. And because I hadn't properly healed and I hadn't properly dealt with the situation that happened when I was 5, I was just so overwhelmed with a lot, and I was just angry at her, for myself, for my brother, for just different situations that were happening, and that were happening even with my own children, because I'm a mother as well. So it was just like, I was blaming her for my shortcomings as a parent. And it was just like, this is all your fault. And my therapist suggested, why don't you just write how you're feeling down? Maybe as a letter, write it down as a letter, write it down as whatever you need to do. And I wrote it down, and eventually it just became almost like a short story. And I held on to it for so long. And then when the opportunity came to do the short film, I kind of changed it around. Of course, I changed, the dates and the names and, the scenario. And I made it into what we have now as my mother's daughter. Um, so of course, I've never been on reality television for the situation of meeting my mother.
Mm.
But that's how it initially the idea came about, was from the idea from my therapist of just write your letters. I mean, write your thoughts down. Just write it down. Get that anger out. If you have to burn it, burn it. If you have to give it to your mom, give it. Just get it out. But one thing we're not going to do is blame others because we're angry. No one is responsible for your happiness. No one is responsible for your anger. That is something that you have to deal with on your own.
Mm.
And that is something that I had to learn how to deal with. And it's something I mentioned in another interview we've all done. I said, my mother's truth is not my truth, and vice versa. And she is not responsible for my happiness, and she is not responsible for my anger. And I have to learn to deal with that, and I have to learn to heal from that, and I have to learn from that. And it's something that I had to teach my own children.
Mm.
While I can add joy and meaning to your life, I am not responsible for it. So.
Right. Yeah. No, that's, yeah. it makes sense. Yeah, it's a hard thing to realize, you know. It's a hard thing to realize, but with your parents, I think something that helped me was the seeing them when you see that they're just people. You know, I guess you get to that point where you, especially, I mean, like you said, since you're a mom, you realize that. Especially, you know, it's like, oh, it's they're just people that made choices. Like yeah, that doesn't mean that they were right with every choice, but am I right with every choice? You know, it's kind of like you realize it's the cycle of of life. Is your parents are flawed people, um, and you how you receive that is up to you. Like you said, Laura, it's like how you receive what happened to you. That's and how you allow that to affect your own life is that's you. That's your responsibility, and that's it makes you into a stronger person essentially. You know, and yeah, so kudos to you for writing it and just something that people can watch and judge and stuff like that. It's that's a good sign, you know. That's a good sign of good healing, you know, to share your traumatic experiences. Um, and so where where are you from originally?
I was originally born in Philadelphia,
Uh,
um, but when I was sent to live with family members, I was sent to one country, and my brother was sent to another. I was sent to Barbados, and my brother was sent to Jamaica
well,
to live with family members, and we didn't see each other. I didn't see my brother from 5 years old until about 13, and
wow.
then we kind of of course reconnected. We're really close now. My mother and I we have since rebuilt our relationship. We're very close for the most part now. There's still a lot that's uh, unsaid, but we spent our time in therapy. We've spent our time in private conversation. And I think that it's as good as it's, for lack of a better term, as good as it's going to get. You know, what happened happened, and there's reasons that it happened, and there was no fault of my own. I didn't do anything wrong. My mother did what she thought was best at the time, and that's all I can. That there's just nothing more to it than that. You know what I mean? Because it's
Yeah.
like we can all sit there and say, she could have done this or she could have done that, and blah blah blah. We do what we feel is best at the time. you
Right.
know.
Yeah, it's not good to live in what could have happened with your past because
Hmm.
it's never good. Yeah, because you can't change the past, and yeah, it's not easy. It's easier to say that than to realize it. Obviously, it's like like you said, realizing it is a process that you have to go through throughout your life.
I think,
So,
can I add something?
no,
What
yeah,
she just said
yes, ma'am.
right now is is the biggest reason people need these kind of work to be made, because first of all, most of the human beings are tend to take everything personal. So 5 years old little girl and little boy, what kind of mistake they can do to, this is because of me, I'm not enough, or
Right,
whatever the
right.
feelings it's causing. And same thing from the parent side, we really don't know their capa- capabilities, and it's not really easy world right now. So like when we really know that it doesn't matter what happened, but what was the intention, and at the end of the day, if personally I would like to live pain free, I need to remember that I have a choice. And I think Lourvey's story is reminding people that break your invisible walls and remember you own your decisions no matter what happened to you.
Yeah, right. I guess, and yeah, that's what the hardest part of being an adult is, like realizing you're responsible for everything in your life.
I think
You
more
know.
than a responsibility, I feel like we need to learn to be kind
Mm.
to ourselves. We are responsible, but we forget that we forget that we have a lot of responsibilities already, and we will have more every year. You're gonna get more and more. But I think the real missing part we need to remember is, first we need to really be like forgive ourselves, be kind to ourselves. Then it comes the others. Then you start becoming kind to others, start listening to them better, really truly understand. And sometimes it's okay to not want to listen or have their dramas because maybe you're really struggling to deal with your own. And there is another story there that we need to able to understand each other, that my best friend didn't care or didn't listen. No, because maybe they don't have that capacity. It goes back to us understanding that person has their own reasons. Again, same thing in a bigger scale. Moms leave daughters giving the adoption or things happens, or smaller scale, people actually can't listen to you sometimes because they can't. So then we go back to inward, and then we have tools now: movies, stories, books, people doing podcasts, things like that.
Right. Right. Yeah. Yeah. It's so true. Yeah. Learning to love yourself is a process. If you grew up not, I see like, yeah, and so I can relate to that. Like, it's something you have to learn. You know, to yeah, like you said, be kind to yourself. That's a great way of putting it, Gigi. You know, something a therapist would say. Yeah. Um, yeah. And so, yeah, Lorve, was there something that helped you cope, like music or books or something, like while you were processing this while you were younger?
When I was much younger, um, I guess like most children, I had imaginary friends.
Mm,
Um, I I was bullied a lot. So because I was in a house with seven other children, and so in a three-bedroom house with seven children and two adults.
wow.
So it wasn't there was an extreme lack of privacy. I mean, I didn't need privacy. I was like a little kid, but it was like, I there was different ages. Like there were some teenagers, and they were
Mm,
always kicking us out, whatever. But it was really nobody to play with in the house, and you go out into the neighborhood and there's children there, but at the time I didn't speak the same as them, and the culture difference was there, and so I just spent a lot of time by myself. So that helped me cope. And as I got older, books, and then I turned towards movies, and that's where I found my first love was the black and whites. The black and white movies were my jam, and to this
nice.
day, I still watch the black and white. So, and I can tell you, like, I can watch a movie right now, like, oh, that's a remake, class of 1940 something, so whatever, whatever. And people be like, "How do you know that this movie just came out last year?" I'm like, first of all, it was starring so and so back in the, like, I watched the movies, like where Virginia's a TV person, I'm definitely a movie person, and books and movies that kept me
That's
very
a
much afloat throughout the years.
wow. You said the black and white, so that covers a lot of ground. Okay, what's your favorite movie? I have to ask that now.
Imitation of Life.
Okay.
19, but they have two versions. They do have the 1934 version. They have the 1959 version.
Mm-hmm.
I will
Yeah.
say the 1959 version with Lana Turner is my favorite version, only because it's more glamorous in Hollywood and she's this glamorous actress. But I
Mm.
do like the black and white version. But
Yes.
yeah.
Nice. Yeah. So
Mm,
what's yours, Virginia? Do you have a favorite film? You know.
Black and white, it was definitely the imitation of life.
Nice.
So, movie wise, but I'm a horror vampire fan. So, my favorite, hands down, is Bram Stoker's Dracula. It's just, it is what it is.
that the
Okay.
1920s
No,
something.
no. Mm-mm.
Francis Ford
Not that.
Coppola one.
Not yes,
Okay.
not Nosferatu. I love Nosferatu, but no, Francis
The
Ford
'90s one.
Coppola,
Yeah.
based off the actual book with Gary Oldman. It's amazing.
I'm not a horror
Yeah.
fan. Gigi, I mean not Gigi. Virginia's a diehard. Let's make a slasher horror, kill him up, vampire guts, and I'm just
Yeah.
like, I'm up here like this, and she's
Yeah.
like, oh my god, eating all the popcorn kind of thing.
Judah is a horror film
Oh
fan too.
goodness.
Yeah, I know
Okay.
Gigi doesn't like
Yes.
it either. It's reminding me of what she says too.
I
Yeah.
still need to watch your movie, but I don't know how.
We can watch it together
I can
later.
tell you though, I did this. But the cinematography is very nice. I can tell you that.
Yeah, it's I get people that don't like like it's not like my most favorite genre for sure, but it is like I get both sides. I understand. I get like not wanting to watch it because like not liking the feeling it
No,
gives
it
you.
really affects me.
Yeah.
It's not that I don't like it. I just physically cannot handle
Yeah, it
it.
gives
Yeah,
like
it,
I
it, it
understand not liking the feeling that it gives you of like
well,
dread,
as an empath, it makes you feel, it makes me physically ill. But
Mm,
as a
Yeah.
storyteller, I like it when they had a good story.
mm,
Like I like horror films sometimes if they actually have like an origin story, like why it happened, why the ghost is there, why the so and so was there. I'm like, oh my god, that's the reason. You know,
The only movie I could handle with the ghost was Others by Nicole Kidman.
oh, okay.
Okay.
Great
But
movie.
then I freaked out after. I couldn't open my wardrobe for a month.
Yeah, it's pretty
So I was
scary.
like,
That movie's, when yeah, that was
I
a
Yeah.
crazy
cannot sleep.
twist.
Still, I cannot sleep if anything like little open in my room. I'm like, oh no, this
Yeah. I love
I
that
have to
twist.
close
That's
this.
like one of the best twists ever in a horror movie. Where it's like she was like, "Oh, I'm the ghost," the whole time. It's such a great twist. Um, yeah, but yeah, no, I understand it. I love I love like the mechanics you can do with horror, where you can like Dracula, Bram Stoker's Dracula, Virginia. There's like you can have an excuse to just forget about realism and really embrace colorful lighting and really cool sets and even like the violence is extremely stylized and
Mm-hmm.
that's not something you can
But
really
it was
You
do in any
guys
genre.
still
need to
an
work together.
amazing story, though. I think that's what people forget.
Mm.
Like, it was like Lourvey said, like they're horror that they are amazing stories.
Yeah.
Dracula is one of the hands down classics
Yeah.
in novels. And and to see that on screen is amazing. And that's me. Like, I am a story person. Give
Right.
me a good story. Please scare the hell out of me while you're at it, but give me a good story and you got me. So I watch all genres, but my mom was big on that. She was my movie influence. She
Right.
watched everything. So,
Mm.
yeah.
Where so with you, Virginia, what did you decide that you wanted to be a filmmaker or pursue it in some way? Like was it something you did at an early age or something you found a little later?
Um I definitely discovered, well, I guess I can say I accepted it later in life. I started writing when I was 13. So I always had a thing for writing. That was my passion. I wrote my first script, like a rough, nasty pencil to paper script, like at 18, but I was so proud because it was a whole story. And then I started writing real scripts and was like, oh, so that's not what you do. I realized I really wanted to go into movies all the way through. My short Me and Lorraine was in this Facebook group, so we were making movies, and my short was one of the ones that got picked. And I got to be behind scenes as the kind of the producer, not the producer. We won't get into that story. But I realized how much fun it is being behind scenes and doing stuff. I worked with the director a lot because I had to tweak some stuff, and I realized that whole thing. So I went in wanting to be a producer. That was my thing. I was like, oh, I'm going to produce. I want to make my stuff. I want to make other people's stuff. We're going to do this. And then I went to school and had to direct my own film. And it's been down here ever since that. All I want to do is direct. Like, I was like, oh, this is amazing. This is what you get to do, and all of this. So, but in hindsight, I realized that at a young age, like, I was a Barbie doll girl,
Mm.
and I made cities with my Barbie dolls. So I said, oh, you were unintentionally making movies all your life. You were telling stories all your life. So I was like, yeah, so apparently, you know, 2020 if I would have known then. So, but yeah, but no, it was right at that time when we did that film. And then, like I said, when I got the chance to fully be behind the camera, fully be engaged in all the things that you had to do, that's when I knew I wanted to do this. So, because it's like you said, directing is probably the hardest job in the world. Like, and I've always been one, I'm not trying to be anybody's manager. I don't want to tell anybody what to do. I want somebody to tell me what to do. I want to sit over here in the corner and I'm moving people around on a movie set. I was like, oh, okay. This is what you want to do. Go figure. So yeah,
Yeah, yeah. It's if you love it, you know that's for sure. With directing, if you really like doing it,
definitely.
you immediately know when
Yeah.
people are asking you questions, and you have to be responsible for talk to the AD about the scheduling and all that stuff. And like
Oh
if you
God, yes.
if you enjoy that whole process, then you like directing for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
And I do. I realize I enjoy every aspect of it. Hence one of the reasons why I wanted to do this film too. Because like Lourvey said, I am very much give me horror, sci-fi, thriller, fantasy. I love those. But having the opportunity to one, get out of my comfort zone and what I'm used to doing, and having not only to work with these people where I need them to be vulnerable on screen and on set. I need them to trust me enough to be able to let me push them to this edge of vulnerability. And they do. And it comes out beautifully without me scarring anybody. So where, they're on social media talk about, don't you ever work with her again. So it's definitely a fine line. And I realize that even when I don't say it, I am good at that. I read people well. I am I listen. I'm very empathic and I'm very emotional. So I always want someone to be happy. I don't want people to be hurt and be in vulnerable spaces where they feel unseen or they feel unsafe. I mean, for most of us, childhood trauma does a lot to help with that. So, and I realized that being a director, these are the things that you navigate all the time, especially depending on the film. And like I said, one of the reasons why I love Lourvey film so much because it gave me that opportunity to like make my own imitation of life, just not on that scale. And that's what I enjoy.
Awesome, awesome. And what's your process like when you with working with actors? Because some directors they talk to them a lot while shooting. Some just have like one note. Some like to rehearse. Some hate rehearsing. What's your process? What do you like?
I like rehearsing. I realize rehearsing is a good thing. So we're building up on that. I'm a listener, so I ask questions. What do you need? If you're one of those who don't need me to give you a whole lot of feedback, I will sit back, watch what you do, and then correct you when I need to. Or if you're one of those who, like, every 2 seconds, you're like, what do you think? What about this? Do you want me to do this better? I'm here for it. So, um, like I said, for me, like, I'm a people watcher. So that's my thing. So whether you need me talking to you or just watching you, I read body language. I pay attention to movement. I listen to inflections in your voice. And from that, I can guide you the best that or what it is that I see because I know what I want to see on camera. And I always have I tell everybody I talk to actors and it's probably not the best thing to say. I treat my set like I used to teach daycare. I used to teach preschool, and that's how I run my set. I run my set with kid gloves. You got to know when you need to raise your voice and when you need to step back and when you need to put on your inside voice. And literally, that's how I do it. It's just because it's so many different people, so many different emotions, and actors are completely different. There is no two actors that are alike. So you have to know how to navigate them like to the T. And that's like having children. Like I have two daughters and they are nothing alike. So it's the same thing. You got to know, all right, I could say this to this person, but you can't say this to that one because they're sensitive. Or this one needs you to be just really, really calm. And this one, they might need you to yell. So, yeah. And I'm a yeller, but I do tell everybody that in the beginning. I
And
give
I'm one of
people
the
fair
sensitive ones,
warning.
and she likes to
I
yell at me.
Uh
well,
oh.
she doesn't listen, but that's another story.
Uh oh.
But
And
no,
I
I
have
give
fun.
people fair warning. I let them know I'll be very calm, but when I am business and I need stuff to go, and y'all out here once again preschool running around not listening, I'm flicking the lights, talk about some sit down, let's go, and everybody looking at me like I'm crazy, but y'all are listening, and then we go back to having fun.
Yeah, yeah. And that's definitely the real answer is that every it yeah, it's like every actor requires a different type of process cuz they're just people, so they have it's so true that there are some actors that they just want you to watch them and then there are other ones that like they want you to talk to them more. So it's so true. It's so interesting. Yeah, that's definitely the real answer to the question because yeah, I remember one time I was doing a scene where this character walks in, um he's delivering an order, he walks in, and then there's these married couple and they're arguing. One person, she was like theatrically trained, like just, and most theater actors like to just stick to the script and they don't like to change. If a single word is changed, they'll let you know usually, the theater
Yeah.
actors, and so while the other actor was more of like he did it differently every single time and he liked to like so it's so interesting to have both of them together where they were like the exact opposite process and they had to be a
Mm-hmm.
couple and stuff. So it's but that was the key, like they all both needed different ones. So I totally understand that, Virginia. It makes sense. um Gigi, um yeah, what would you say is your biggest goal as a producer? Um, really, in general, at this point.
Um, I when I produce with people, I would want my team or like i- whether it's my own movie or I'm working in a project or I would like people to feel that once I'm in it, they will know that I will do anything to make it happen.
Mm,
So
mm,
that's my biggest goal in terms of like having that kind of repetition to like when people work with you. Obviously, we will have people that we're not gonna be energetically aligned. um, that's also okay, but able to in be somewhere that I'm able to tell people that I don't think this is gonna work
right.
before getting deeper. And I feel like I'm almost there because I can still do that even though I'm not there yet.
Mm,
I feel like I'm getting there. It's like a very energetically goal. It's not like a objective goal, I know, but I think that will bring me everything else automatically anyways.
right. Yeah. No, and that's that's pretty cool. Yeah. It's I know you have a long career of producing ahead of you, Gigi. So um, don't forget me when you win your Oscar, kind of thing. You know what I'm
Oh,
saying?
look at you.
So, but Lourvey, you said you're acting in it. Are you playing the main character? Are you playing the mom? What are you playing in the film?
I am playing Sheila, who is the daughter.
Got it.
Um, yeah, it was funny because it was the hardest thing to find someone to play the mother. And I don't know what we were doing wrong, but we were saying we were like we were doing it so nice. Like it was so easy to find everything else we needed. Everything else just fell into place. Everything was fine. And we put out the casting call about 2 or 3 times for the mother, and we got so many beautiful, wonderful actresses to submit. But then they kept saying, "Oh, never mind, never mind, never mind." And I'm like, "Well, what happened? Like, what are we doing wrong?" And
Right.
it's like, "Did you not like the role? Like, what was it?" And we could never figure it out. And I'm just like, "You guys, nobody wants to play my mom. It's me. I don't know what's wrong." And we to this day we don't know what happened, but we luckily we have someone, and she's thrilled about it. So we're grateful to her, and we believe that everything happens for a reason, and maybe just the others fell off because she was supposed to be there. So
Mm.
that's all we can say. So,
Right.
but it was interesting. It was an interesting ride to find her. That was for sure.
Right. Yeah.
Girl.
It's so weird how that happens sometimes where you have like sometimes you get swept with like so many submissions and other times you're like where is this character? Where are they? You know? So I understand. That's good that you guys casted it. Is it hard to get into the actor director relationship with you guys? Lourvey and Virginia, is it hard or is it yeah, is there tension there? Is it easy or just an extension of your friendship?
Well, for
Is there
me,
tension?
I don't know. Is there? It's funny.
Tension is fun.
uh, I I will give you the sugar coated answer, and then see, we Virginia and I have been friends for some time, so our and it's so funny because Gigi had come in, and and poor Gigi, because she was all like, "What the heck is going on?" Because she didn't know if we were like serious, if we were not, what was happening, because the
Yeah,
way
I was really struggling.
yeah,
Like,
because
is
the
this a
way the way
joke?
the way Virginia and I speak to each other, we were like, "Who the hell, mother ever? You think you're talking to?" She like, "Who you think you mother ever?" And she's like, "Oh my god!" Like, she's like, "You guys, now another time to fight." And we're like, "We're not fighting. What are you talking about? We're having a conversation." Like, and we were like genuinely having a conversation. We're like, "What are you talking about? Who's fighting?" Like, this is how we talk to each other. Like, this is literally how we speak to each other.
Mm.
But it was just, as far as like the workflow, there was, I think, a little bit of tension, only because I trust Virginia with um because this is like one of my babies, like
Yeah.
as a
Yeah.
filmmaker, we're sensitive about our as Erica said, as the artist. And I know that if I was to do the same thing with Virginia, like, Virginia, look, we got to change this, we're going to do this, she can be like, excuse you, because in our minds it's like a work of art. How dare you, how dare you
Yeah.
touch the work of art.
Mm.
But I understand, as a writer, I edit people's stuff all the time. I am a script supervisor, so I edit. I know sometimes that there's going to be that red clicking, like my professor used to do, click, 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 click. And he used to take that little red marker and just a murder scene all over my scripts.
Mm.
So, and Virginia is fond of doing that. And she'll find every little thing. And I'm like, okay, whatever. But I know that it
Right.
makes me better. So it's so funny because I do it right back to her, and she's like, interesting. So but, and I wouldn't even say it's a petty thing. I think it's really, truly just like, we're so busy, and we're so perfectionist at what we're trying to do, that I want her to be so much better than me, and she wants me to be so much better than her, and that we're just back and forth with it. And I trust her completely with what I'm handing to her, like as if I'm handing her my real child. If I'm going to leave my real child in your presence, I'm trusting you completely with something. So, and I handed her this script, and I said, I trust you with it. Here you go. And she's only making it better for me. And so it was a little tension sometimes, because she's like, well, I think you should do this, or I think you should approach it this way. And at times I was like, "Ugh, what? Like, but I had to let go of that foolery. And I'm like, okay, she's honestly, truly trying to help you. You know what I mean? And so, and like, that moment was like the briefest of moments. And so, I had to, like, of course, get over that. Like I said, it was the briefest of moments. It didn't last long at all. And I know that it's only done out of love and honest, um, sincerity for not only my career, but for this film that we all have our name attached to. And why would you want to attach your name to something that's gonna be some crap? You know, you want it to be as best and as polished as possible. And I think that goes for Gigi, and that goes for our whole crew and our cast, and for Virginia. So
Right.
yeah,
Yeah. No, I like that you said that, Laura. That you trust
Oh,
Virginia, because that really is the
oh,
key. Yeah.
so
That
nice.
that is the key is trust. I mean, with an actor director relationship, and yeah, I always wonder what that is like when it's like you're like really close friends too, and you're the writer, and it's your personal story. You know, there's like a lot of
That's
ways
a
Yeah,
that there could be
challenge.
yeah.
tension.
It's a big challenge.
So
You know.
I learned that if I can write, I can work with this writer. I can work with any writer.
Right.
But no, seriously, I understood, like I understand Lorvay. I understand like she said, the passion behind it, how she's looking at me like, I'm sorry, you want me to do what? I don't understand why. Cause my vision is, and I'm like, okay, and I see your vision, but listen to this, okay? Just imagine for a second. And it's funny because what I do is I'll just sit there and I'll say something and I'll watch her and I watch the light bulb go off. So I won't go, I'm right. But I just let her be like, well, how about we try? I go, okay. And there we go. Because you watch, the thing is, you have to be, it's a collaborative effort. That's what I learned, and I'm learning that so much being in class too. Whole another story. And like she said, I trust her. One of my biggest things is I started off writing stories, so I write a lot. And one of the hardest things for me even now is cutting stuff out of my script. I will give you detail upon detail upon detail. Instead of just saying Lorvay walks into the room, I write. LeVay glides in the room like a rainbow on a bright sunny day. What the hell? So LeVay gets to my script and she's like, so that's pretty, but how about we just say LeVay walks into the room? I'm like, if we have to. But I understand. Because when you need a 10-page script and I'm giving you 20, we're going to have to cut something out of this. So we work good like that. And that's one of our things we've always said to each other. I write too much, she writes too little. So when she needs more, she gives it to me. When I need less, go ahead, do that. We hate each other for it because it's like, what are you doing?
Right.
This is wonderful, but we do what needs to be done. So it's a good relationship, and I see some longevity in this relationship and some more fun projects going on. Some more cussing in corners. Probably we'll probably learn how to do it more quietly so we don't scare off the rest of the people. But we got this.
Did you guys shoot
I'm not
already?
scared anymore. It's the best experience I ever had.
Yeah, you came in. You're like, "What's going on?" And then you're like, "Oh, this is
we
normal."
probably
Okay.
maybe the next time we come on, we're gonna be telling you that Gigi's joined in on the cursing.
That part.
She's like, "Oh, this is normal." Okay. That's funny.
I'm very close.
Right, you're getting there. You're on the edge already. Yeah.
Yeah.
So did you guys shoot already, or are you preparing to shoot?
No, we're
Oh,
preparing to shoot.
Got it.
yeah.
We were supposed to shoot last
Last
weekend.
weekend,
Last
yeah.
weekend, yes. But our DP was in a car accident.
Hmm.
Which, okay, is so funny because even he said it. It was a blessing and a curse all at the same time because we wanted to make sure he was okay. But through this, it gave us more time to do some more things that we needed to do just to make the film better. And he also threw the option to us to expand the script from a 15-minute, yeah, okay, to a 30-minute, which is now what we're doing. So, um, like I said, no, we all wanted to shoot. We were all ready. We all had everything together. But when we knew we had to pivot, it was like, no, let's pivot. Let's take our time. Let's work on our Seed and Spark campaign. Let's work on getting more revenue. Let's work on more marketing. Let's make sure our other actors are prepared like they need to be, and make sure like our crew is good so we can do what we want to do. And having the 30-minute gives us so many more options of being able to put this movie in different avenues that we probably wouldn't have been able to do with a 15, to get it to more people that probably wouldn't have been able to see it with it just being a 15. So I'm looking forward to seeing the extra 15 pages eventually.
Hint, hint, wink, wink,
And
Lourvey.
seeing, yeah, okay, seeing where we go with this. So, I'm patient. You know, you have until Sunday, and then I'm no longer patient. Right after the Oscars are over, I'll be texting you, do I have pages yet?
You'll just send her question marks. Not even like that's it. Just question mark.
Okay. I, I'm going to send her Ryan Coogler's award saying, girl, get on it. Let's go. We got to make this happen.
Wow.
Okay.
I have
Peer
actually
pressure.
drafted, I've actually drafted 2 pages out of 15. So
There we go.
there,
Look,
progress.
Progress.
progress. Okay. Baby steps. But yeah, no. So we have so we haven't started filming yet, but like I said, it's giving us more time. Because like I was telling them, I do want to do more marketing. I do want to push more. I want to get this story. I want to get the idea out in more people's heads. I want them to hear it. I want them to want to know what's going on. One of my things that I tend to do well, and I may need to start talking more about the film. Don't say anything smart. I tell a good story, and I could tell a good story good enough to make people want to know what's going on. And most of the time, they get mad because it's something that's in the process and it's not finished. And I've gotten some threats to be locked in basements. So I want the same thing for this. I want to be able to effectively tell this good story to where you're looking at me talking about some soul. I can watch it right now, and I'm like, no, but it's coming soon. That's literally, so I'm like, this time that we have since we had to pivot, that's what I want. I want people on our social media and they're looking, talking about some, okay, where is it? I'm ready for it. Hurry up before I have to find you. And I am forcing you to hold the camera and make this happen. So that's the goal right now, is to push, 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 push to where people are looking like, yo, I think I know the story perfectly. I thought it already came out. I can tell you about these characters and these people, and I'm ready for it. So
Right, right, right. Do you have to go now, Virginia? It's 4 basically, so I didn't want
I
to.
have a little bit of, well, I have
Okay,
a little bit of time. I
okay.
realized that don't tell anybody that I forgot to punch out.
HR's dying right now. No, okay, sounds good. I just wanted to make sure. Awesome. Yeah, what do you guys, all three of you, hope, like what is like the thing you hope the movie like touches on? Is it like when you say you want it to be marketed more, do you want it like to go down like a good festival run? Do you want it to get good views online? Do you what does that look like for all of you? Because that's the thing about like short films, is like you kind of have to decide that for yourself, you know what that is, because like a lot of people, they put so much worth in like whether or not it gets into like Sundance or something, but it's like, it's kind of like it has to mean something to you first. So it's like if it's, what does that mean for you guys? Like, what do you guys all hope this movie reaches,
For me, I hope that it just gets seen, um, just for starters, just more so with our communities that we're reaching out to. It gets seen, like with the person who's playing our actor, one of our lead actors. He works with foster children, and he wants to show this to different organizations. I want the children to see it. I want it to kind of go around nationwide, being able to be shown first to people around nationwide, to just people who I feel it can relate to. And then after that, we can start talking about the festivals, and then the streaming, and then internationally and all of that. But for me, success looks like just having it impact people emotionally and their thought processes, whether that's nationwide, internationally. I just wanted to hit the people it's supposed to hit. So that's for me. That's what the marketing is for.
Right, right, right. What about you, Gigi?
I'm with her.
Nice.
Same boat.
Right, right. Makes sense. Yeah, for the hope that it touches it reaches the communities that it's talking about first. That makes sense. That makes sense. Virginia, what about you?
I wanted to reach that one mother, that one daughter who is living this experience right now, who is dreading that mom that's dreading that moment that this child that she had to give up for whatever reason is going to come and want to know why, and she doesn't know how to answer the question. Or that child that's lived their life, knowing one thing, and then to find out that everything they thought they knew was is kind of essentially a lie, but having to deal with knowing that they were loved and they were cared for and they were supported with these people, but then on the flip, trying to figure out what happened with this other person. I want them to know that they're not alone in that story because other people are living those same truths.
Mm, mm, right, right. And how can people support? What is like? Yeah, what can people do now to support my mother's daughter?
Donate. Please, please, please donate. Our seed and
Awesome.
spark is up. It's live. It's in effect. Please, please donate. Please do not be shy. Share it with your churches. Share it like you share that celebrity's birthday who you've never met, never will meet. They don't know you. Share it like we are celebrities and you got the latest gossip. Share it, share it, share it everywhere. We are going to give you the link, Judah. Please post it wherever you got to go. Post it at the bus stops. Do whatever you got to do. Donate. That is how
Sure.
you can help friend.
Yeah, I'll link it down below for sure, that everybody could see it. What was okay? What was the best film of last year to you guys? Since the Oscars are coming up, you mentioned them, Virginia. What was the best movie of last year? I feel like I know what Virginia's gonna say. If it's not Sinners, I'll be shocked.
Oh, I
Honestly.
mean, well, see, yeah, it is. You know what? It is 2026. I am so sorry. Yes, I mean, Sinners, hands down. Like, see,
Vampires,
but
horror.
and see, that's
Yeah.
the thing. It's not because it was vampires.
Mm,
Because when I first saw Sinners, I didn't even realize it was a vampire movie until I got more information.
mm,
Just the cinematic perfection of what Ryan Coogler pulled off in this film. This is what I aspire to when it comes to directing. Like I have a whole new thing now. Like I'm watching him like, oh, okay. So I'm getting this Oscar in this fantasy that I want to do because if he could pull that off, there's no limits to what I can do.
mm.
Sinners hands down was amazing. Second was Frankenstein.
Oh yeah, of course. Guillermo del
Oh my
Toro.
God.
Yeah.
That man is a genius.
Oh yeah, yeah. Visually, he's there's like it's like the production design, the set deck, the costumes. It's like coming from his head. I've got to talk to him
Yeah,
actually before. He's a great guy for sure.
really.
Yes. Yeah.
Like the
Yeah.
story was amazing. And that's not the story I was expecting.
Mhm.
And it was amazing. And I was just like, I was in awe, like jaw drop.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, I mean, Sinners is still number one, but I mean,
Yeah. Right. 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 Right.
close second was
Mm.
Frankenstein.
Got it. Got it. Good choices. Good choices. Okay, Lorve, did you? Yeah. Do you have favorites?
um, I'm going to agree with Virginia with Frankenstein, and I'm going to go with Dracula from last year.
Oh, okay. Nice.
Um, I really
I'm sorry. Are you talking about that new Nosferatu that came out?
no that it was Dracula.
Yeah, Dracula
It
who
was
directed it? I forgot.
let me see who directed it.
Oh, you're talking about the new
Christoph
remake that
Waltz.
might
Yeah.
that
Yeah,
I have
from
not seen that yet.
Luke Benson,
Luc Besson. Luc Besson.
Besson.
Yeah.
He directed it. It
I know
was
what you're talking
actually really
about.
good. Yeah, it was really good. So I saw that. That was really good. I loved that. Um, and Frankenstein. I liked Frank.
Good
And as
choices.
much as acclaimed as Sinners was, I liked it for the story and I liked it for the performances and I liked it more for the cinematography, honestly. And but as far as like, I mean, it was kind of like for me. I like the cinematography.
You are so
Yeah.
The
disrespectful.
cinematography for me, I was
Funny.
like, oh, I'm sorry.
Gigi,
I
Well,
for
y'all are
me,
gonna
I
have to
was
find a new director. I think I'm gonna have to bow out of this project because I don't know who this person is that I'm looking at right now.
look.
there
I
it is.
I
I
watched
don't
it.
understand.
I watched it.
No, I look.
And
I
while I did appreciate the hoodoo references,
yeah.
because I am a practitioner of hoodoo, and I while I did appreciate that, and I did enjoy the period piece, because I do love me a good period piece, such as Frankenstein, such as Dracula. I like Frankenstein and Dracula a whole lot more than I enjoyed Sinners. I
Look,
did
I
enjoy the
understand.
cultural references,
You're entitled to your opinion, Lourvey. It's fine.
I mean,
Look,
I
I it,
but
it
I
guess.
was
Guess. That's what we're gonna say on
just keep them to
camera.
yourself. That's true though.
Basically.
Gigi. What did you enjoy, Gigi?
Yeah, Gigi, what did you
Well,
enjoy? Yeah.
I am really sadly, I was working so much that I only watched two movies in the theater, but I'm going to one today. So I would like to have a suggestion. What should I watch?
Um.
Because I really
Well, which
struggle.
one? Which two did you watch?
Yeah. Good
I
question.
watch Materialist and
Okay.
Begonia,
Oh, that movie's crazy.
And
but
Begonia
no,
and which one are
I'm
was
you
not
going to
gonna.
see?
crazy.
I'm
Yeah, it
I'm
was.
not gonna comment about Materialist.
So
No comment.
my two
Well, which one are
favorites.
you going to see?
Yeah, which one are you gonna see?
I don't know.
Okay, so
I
Oh,
need to
okay.
my
choose.
my two
Oh,
favorites, Gigi, were Hamnet and Sentimental Value.
I
Those were
didn't
I
like
get
my
to
want to see
see
favorites.
Hamnet.
Hamnet.
I
I
do
want to
want to
Okay.
see
see
that.
Hamnet.
I wanna watch
I'm about to say, so
Hamnet.
Gigi,
Hamnet,
go
you'll
see
love
Okay.
that movie.
Hamnet for us,
You'll love that
okay?
movie.
Just don't
Yeah, go
tell
see
us
that
about
because
it
I want to see
because
that.
I still want to see
I
it.
really want to see that.
I'm gonna have to pay for it. I'm just because nobody's streaming it yet. I want to see it before the Oscars.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to pay
It's
for it.
really good.
I love the
It's really
Shakespeare
good.
stories, and I saw the preview and the story. I'm a story
It looks
person,
really well
yeah.
done.
And I'm like that
Yeah.
story. I was like,
It
I gotta watch this. I'm gonna be in tears,
it looks really
but
well
I'm like,
done.
I have to watch
Yeah.
it.
It
Yeah,
looks
With
dirty and gritty,
Begonia,
but it looks good.
yeah.
with Begonia, I was good until the last AI part. I was gone.
But
What where
Begonia
you
was
I
where she's
haven't
an
seen
fun.
alien?
Begonia.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
Begonia was fun. What I liked about Begonia was you literally, when you first start watching it, you automatically think one way. You automatically think one way. I mean, he crazy. Nobody
He
is thinking
crazy.
anything else except that we all have seen this before.
Right.
These all of that, and when it switched, I said, "Oh shit!"
Yeah, yeah. By the middle
Like
point of the movie, you realize like, oh,
mouth drop.
he's
Like
right.
he's
I
right.
Yeah.
did.
Yeah. I was in my living room watching it and I said something. My daughter came out like, "What are you watching?" I was like, "Begonia." She was like, "Without me?" I was like, "Girl, you said you didn't want to watch a movie, okay? We can watch
But
it
was
again."
it good? I haven't
It's
seen it. Was
so
it good?
good. So if you
It's
watch it,
weird.
it's
I was
very weird.
suspecting.
You really?
I was
No. I
suspecting
thought he was
because
just
I was
crazy.
like, yeah, I 100% he was crazy for sure. But and when the guy shoot himself, I was like, oh
Yeah,
my
that part was
god, I
the
was
most shocking
so
part of the whole
That
movie,
was
for
probably the
sure.
most, yeah, that was the saddest part in the whole thing.
that I was like already got. And then when she went to the space with this AI, I
Yeah.
I was
So she was an alien. Like, because they were
Spoilers.
like
Yeah, we're
yeah.
thinking she was
spoiling
an
the
We
movie.
alien.
just spoiling it for you. Yeah,
So,
sorry.
Oh,
Yeah.
no,
I
I'm
love
sorry,
her
because that
though.
was the
I
whole
really
part. Like
love
they
her.
thought she was crazy, alien or
yeah,
whatever it was.
yeah.
Okay,
It's
okay.
interesting.
Well, I'll
Yeah,
still
But
watch
no,
it.
you still
yeah.
have to watch it because there's pieces that we're not mentioning where we're
Yeah.
really, when we go, everybody thought he was crazy, but to see the level of his crazy as it progressed was just like
Hmm.
sickening because he
Yeah,
was crazy, crazy. So yeah, no, you still
yeah.
have to watch it. Even with us just saying this, when you
Yeah.
watch it, you're still going to be like, what? You're going to be texting me talking about some, why I let you watch this. Okay? Because it's still
Yeah, and I
parts.
probably am gonna be like, what kind of basement kidnapping stuff
Basically,
is
okay,
this?
literally, that's what you're going to be saying. So, because there's still parts where, even with what we just said, you're going to go in, this is where you're at, and you're going to be like, wait, they didn't say any of this. I mean, like, 'cause he's crazy. But
Yeah.
it was, I understood why it was an Oscar contender, though. Like, I
Yeah. Yeah.
definitely
It's
understood.
good
Yeah,
acting.
Yeah.
it's
The exactly.
okay. And it was
Exactly.
a good
Okay,
story.
Judah, what was your two?
Mine? Well, yeah, Hamnet and Sentimental Value. Those are like the ones that really touched me
Okay.
in terms of like,
I
ooh,
wanna
I
I
watch
want to
that
like
see
now.
Sentimental Values
yeah,
too. So I'm not gonna catch
yeah,
all of them before the Oscars, but I am still gonna get. I'm gonna
those,
get to them.
yeah, yeah, those two were like they had like a level of like emotional depth that you just don't really see a lot in modern cinema. You know, modern cinema is a lot about like spectacle and visual
Yeah.
effects and stuff. So
Hmm.
those both of those movies don't have any. You know, it's
Yeah.
very much about like the dynamics of the characters and the
The
story, like this
story,
one.
yeah, and I
And
tell people
so,
that
yeah.
we miss sometimes we miss the story, and it's like
Yeah.
I love a good story. I like to cry, make me cry.
Yeah, exactly.
Like
You'll love Hamnet
I
then.
can help
I
you with
want to
that.
I
be
I
can help you
cry
with
all
on
the
that.
time.
on a complete sidebar. I watched that. What was it? Good Boy, Old Boy, the horror movie with the dog.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Okay,
I think it
so
was Good
Oh
Boy.
no,
only
Yeah.
reason
you're
why I
naming horror movies
watched
now.
it was because a classmate said it's not what we think. The dog was not harmed. They literally told me what I was getting into. I watched this movie and I was so traumatized. I was in my living room
Hmm.
Oh,
yelling, literally yelling at the TV. I'm on that, when you watch a horror movie and everybody like, don't go in that room. I am literally, don't go. No, go back. Where is he?
With the
Don't
dog
do
this time.
the dog. Yes, my dog is looking at me like, are you okay? Like my daughter came out the room, was like, what is wrong with you? Like I was full tears watching this movie. I was so concerned
Wow.
about this dog. It was such a good movie.
And no dogs or
And no
animals were harmed in
animals
the
was
making of
harmed in
this
the
film.
making of this film.
so
Yes.
my friend is taking me for a movie now. Like
Okay.
soon. What should I watch?
Hamnet.
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 Hamnet. All the way.
Hamnet.
Hamnet
All
hands
the way. All
down.
the way.
Can
You'll.
I handle it?
Yeah, yeah. It's not
Oh
Yeah,
no,
it
scary. It's
sounds
not.
like a
Okay.
beautiful
Yeah.
it's not a
story.
horror. It's a drama piece.
It's not a
So
horror
yeah.
movie. I think it's a
Okay.
love story.
Yeah.
Well,
It's
Yeah,
very, very
Okay.
yeah.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think.
exactly.
I don't know. I
It's
haven't
better.
seen it. Don't
It's
get me
better to
wrong.
go in blind for
Yeah,
sure.
no,
But
you have
it's
to go in
very,
blind.
very, very good. You know, like Chloe Zhao is one of the best of her
Yes,
generation.
she
The
is.
way that she balances like nature and realism with like cinematic storytelling is I've never seen anything like that before. It's very worth
Okay.
watching.
So that's gonna be my first
Yes,
choice,
and
and
it's
if
not
that's
long
not
too.
available,
Yeah, yeah, it's not long too. It's like an hour and a half. Yeah.
and what's the second option?
Sinners,
Um.
of
Pick
course.
any, mini, miny,
Options.
mo.
yes. Yeah.
Oh, is
Sinners.
it
So.
is Sinner still in the movie
So look.
theaters?
I don't know.
Yeah. Sinners.
It might
Sinners
be.
is a. I understand Lourvey's criticism for that movie,
Oh,
but it's
Jesus.
a it's a
Like I
beautifully
said, the
shot movie.
cinematography was beautiful.
It's a beautifully
Cinematography was
shot
gorgeous.
movie. I love the setting, but I think I'm not a big fan of like sex scenes, and Sinners is like half sex scenes. It's like
No,
so
there,
that was
there
like
are,
all
yeah,
right.
Yep.
there. But you know
I was
what?
like I've never seen a popular yeah.
I kind of understood why there was.
Yeah, there's a purpose in the story for it.
Yeah,
But it was
there's a
like okay, I can't
purpose.
remember the last yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
I get what you're saying. Yeah, because
I was
when
like
I went
another
into,
one.
I was like, this is a lot. Yeah, because I was with you for the type of movie it was, but I understood why. It was because of the characters. It was because it was drawing that line between those two characters. And you
Yeah.
had to
Yeah.
show it in as much detail as possible to make sure that you distinguish that those were two separate entities, which that's one of the reasons why I like the movie. They were two different people completely. It was masterful. And I mean, no, the cinematography is amazing. Hands down, one of the reasons why I love the movie so much. Okay, reason why my thesis film is why I'm trying to shoot part of it on 8 millimeter is because of them.
Right.
Okay, the cinematography was hands down amazing. Okay, that
Yeah.
Yeah,
music
that is
scene
where like
was like next level. So,
yeah,
yeah,
and they said that, and
Yeah.
they said that that was all like AI. They was like all those other characters were AI
really,
generated people. That's what they
I'm gonna
told.
have
They
to
said
look into
all those
that.
other
Right.
characters
Well,
were AI.
VFX. Yeah, with VFX,
Yeah,
you mean right? Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna
No,
look
like
into
yeah.
that.
set extension and yeah. It's
She
yeah.
said it.
I'm gonna look
Yeah, like
into
the VFX. Yeah, there's
Hmm.
that's probably what Lorve means. There's VFX that like they
Well,
added
no,
like
she said that
you know.
that the costume lady. She said that they they put it into the
See, and
system like an
that's
Unreal
why I
Engine
don't
system,
trust
and then
her
they
because
put
she
it
don't even know who the costume lady is. Ruth, her name is Ruth. Her name is Miss Ruth. You give her
Miss
flowers,
Ruth,
okay?
Miss
Miss Ruth,
Ruth.
okay?
I
She
and
is
so
the
funny. I knew
goat,
Miss Ruth used to live across the street.
okay?
She
She used to
is.
beat my
My
backside
great aunt
every
name
time I
was
got into
Ruth.
trouble. Her name was
Judah,
Miss
you see
Ruth.
how much fun I'm having?
And you have
Miss
to be
Ruth.
the middle woman in this, Gigi. It's just crazy, but
And
it's
watch. I'm gonna probably hire Miss Ruth on one of my movies. She was like, I watched that podcast, but you ain't know my name.
That
I'm
part,
like,
because I'm
all
going to
right, we
tell
go.
her, okay? Chill.
yeah, it was cool to see like the coolest thing about Sinners was seeing a person of like color having like carte blanche with $100 million budget, being able to do
And
what
I
they
mean, and
want
I
and
think that's
do. That
that's
was the
it
coolest
too. Like,
aspect.
yeah, like
That was the coolest part.
like
You
Ryan
know.
Coogler got to do something that most people aspire to doing, and the fact that he
Yeah.
did it and he did it brilliantly, where there's
Well, he did it
nothing
multiple
you. I mean,
times.
but we gotta work twice as hard. You know what I mean? So, but you opened the door up for so many people to do so
Yeah.
much more. And
Right.
that's the thing.
Yeah.
Like Sinners, because it was the genre bending movie, and he did it, and it was perfect. You got a little bit of both. Like even down to Remick, he was amazing. Okay.
I would like to see more about his
I love
story. I
him.
would like to see
Yes,
more about his
his
character.
character was so well developed, and most people would have thought, oh, because it's a black movie and it's that. No, it wasn't a black movie. It was about the time period that they were in, and each person got a chance to kind of speak upon that time period. Even Remick at the end when he said it, like his trauma, it's just, story. I love a good
And,
story.
and I really like, and I said that's why I like origin stories. And I really don't believe he was a racist. I really believe he really didn't like those bigots,
Yeah.
and that's why he killed them in the beginning. I really truly believe he just didn't like
And
them.
he just
It had
wanted to
nothing to do. He was
play
hungry.
music.
He just didn't like them. And
Yeah.
he was just like, they were bigots. I didn't like
Yeah.
them, and I
Right.
killed them. But you
Yeah,
know,
and this is like Ryan Coogler's first truly original film, so which is cool. Like
Yeah.
obviously Creed
mm,
is based off of Rocky, and then Black Panther was a comic, and then his first movie was
His
a true
first,
story.
yeah.
So this is like
Fruitvale
his first
Station or
truly
something like that.
original. Yeah, and that movie's great. So it's
Yeah.
really cool to see like him do that. So, but all right. Thank you guys for doing this.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
And
I'm gonna
Thank
support.
send you
you.
that link.
Yes, send me the link so I could put it here, and then support my mother's daughter, support independent films, support people of color,
Please.
support important stories, and I'll see you guys later.
Support
Thank
women.
you.
Yes,
Yes,
and
the
support
women
women. There you go.
filmmakers. Thank you.
I forgot that one. Sorry, Gigi. Okay. All right. Boom.